Afternoon, everybody. For those who don't know me, my name's Jeff Farrar, and I'm the chair of the Integrated Care Board for Bristol, North Somerset, and South Gloucester. We've just finished our board in public today and our private board. And as usual, I like to talk to you about some of the things that we discussed at that meeting. So there's three things I wanted to talk about, really. The first one is about business as usual. And we know we're amongst a huge amount of change at the moment, a huge amount of uncertainty, but we still have to do the things that we're expected to do in health and social care. And so we had a good conversation around winter planning. Now, that might feel a bit odd when it's 30 degrees outside, but you do have to plan in advance. And I'm really keen to make sure that the board is focused on the things that we do, not all the other disorientation in the system. So that was the first thing. The second thing was about the 10-year plan, which you've seen, or hopefully you will have seen, has been launched today. The 10-year plan, I could not talk about it in 2 or 3 minutes here, but it talks about a range of things that make us fit for purpose for the future. And I'm really optimistic about doing a lot of those things. That said, we do know as an integrated care board, we will be limited in our capacity and our resources for the future. So we have to think hard about what we do. So that third item was about that change. And I firmly believe that we have 3 key pillars that we need to focus on to make sure that we're delivering the right services for our community. I think the one is about clinical and information that we're provided by our professionals. We do that very well at the moment, and we need to continue to do that. But also we need to think about the patient voice, the public voice, and the citizen voice. I think in BNSSG, we're pretty good at that, but we can do better. And I think we really need to consider that. One of the things we talked about today was around health inequality and how we make sure that many of our communities, their voice isn't always heard in the way it should be. So that's going to be really important for us. And then the final one, which was really quite innovative and really lifted people at the board, was around the research that we're doing and the Deep End project, which is looking at the way we use research, of which we are the best in the country. We're not talking about Oxford or Cambridge being ahead. In Bristol, North Somerset and South Gloucester, we are the leading research capacity and capability in the whole of England and Wales. So some really fantastic stuff going on there. One of the questions posed, though, is how do we make sure that fantastic research makes its way through into our decision making at the board? And whilst that does happen, it's not as systematic as it might be. So I'd like to see that improve. But what came out from today, there is a mood of optimism. I think we all know how hard it is. We all know how hard the whole of public services is, but particularly in the NHS. I know how hard you're working, despite the fact that there's a huge amount going on around uncertainty in the future. But please be rest assured, we're going to do our best to get us to the right position. So thank you for listening to me, and thank you for your time today.